Yo, what's good? I got a few interesting things to talk about today, and this is something I found very interesting. I bet a lot of people haven't even talked about it or covered it, but did you know the United States used to have a law called the Ugly Law? Just go ahead and take a look at this. An ugly law in the United States. So, back in the days, if you look like somebody who was pretty much ugly or whatever, you could actually be arrested. You know what I mean? Like if you're deformed, mutilated, and that's up to people's discretion. But especially back in those days, you could have fought for like World War I, you know, World War II, came back disfigured and maimed, and then they don't want to see you out in public. You could have took a flamethrower to the face. Saved one of your friends from a tank, but maybe your face got burned up, and then now you come home from the war and you can't even go out to like the public. It's just absolutely brutal. But just the fact that they had these laws, it goes to show you that looks matter. They had laws on that. That goes to show you that the natural human brain doesn't like anything that's ugly. Like humans have a natural propensity to things that are beautiful. We do. Just take a look at this. Humans love things that are fucking beautiful. It's just human nature. When you see like a zombie or something like that, what's your first reaction? to grab a like this. What's your first reaction? You know, your first reaction is, damn, she's attractive. I hit it from the back and make that man slap. You know what I mean? Point blank. And it just goes to show you. I found that very interesting. You know, people charged under the ugly laws were either charged a fine or held in jail until they could be sent to the poorhouse or a work farm. That's brutal, bro. These ugly laws, like this is crazy. Like this is an interesting thing to take and to look at. These ugly laws. Like I can't I was gonna say I can't believe it, but it's like of course I can believe it. Look at what I go through now. A lot of things that I've been through in life is because of how I look like. Being a black man in America, nobody wants you to win. Let's just be real. Not saying it's impossible, but I'm saying that it's a lot harder than people make it out to be. Now, one thing about this life, man, is it always seems like there's something that's trying to attack you. It always seems like there's some type of invisible hand or something like that it seems to want to target you. And I heard a lot of other content creators talking about this, how it seems like nowadays people have no sympathy, they have no empathy, they have no compassion. People are a lot selfish. People do a lot of wicked things. People may spit in your food. People may try to poison you. People may try to do this about you. They may try to, like let's say at your job or something, you may have a coworker or a boss, who maybe envy you or something like that. Let's say like you're a good worker. You come to work every day. You do your thing. You come to work. You do your job. You don't like gossiping, talking about other people. That puts a target on your back. And let's just say like some of the higher ups may look to you for a promotion, but your boss who's training you, and I hear this a lot in like AC training, because I was looking into that, like air conditioner training and stuff like that. Some of the trades is where you have these guys who are older, but they don't want to train the younger generation. Like they keep like the trade secrets to themselves, and that's just bullshit. These guys are like in their late 50s and early 60s, some of them late 60s, and they want to keep it, some of the trade secrets to themselves, and I think that's bullshit. But you have a lot of gatekeeping as well, which sucks. I think older guys should be telling the younger generation what mistakes to avoid and what right choices to make. Let's all try to help each other out. And that's what this world is not about, man. I was watching shit on the news and on some of these other channels. I'm just looking like, you got food recalls, you got ice cream that, they got to recall because it got certain type of, chemicals in it that can give people, allergies. And I think some girl died in like Virginia for having some type of, for eating the ice cream with the nuts in it, and her throat closed up and she couldn't breathe, shit like that. And I'm like, this is crazy. And then you hear about the wars and all this other stuff going on. It's like, it feels like this is a battle zone a lot of times, You're always battling something. You're battling your depression, you're battling your stressing, you're battling people around you, you're battling people, online with whatever political discourse, and it's just always some type of opposing force. If you look at how the world's designed, it's always us versus them, that mentality, you know. And I think that type of mentality has just bred it just bred like a every man for himself type of attitude. And I think when you have that and not have some type of brotherhood or some type of unity, it can be very difficult to try to make it on your own as a lonely guy in this position, especially when you're somebody that doesn't bother nobody and you stick to yourself and you're just a creative person. So many people that I talk to, and like so many people watch my videos and, you know, they got their first sales in their artwork, you know what I mean? Stuff like that. And it's just like, wow. I only been making videos for like a year, and I became one of the biggest people in this little space or whatever, and that wasn't my intention. My intention was just venting like anybody else. I seen everybody else making videos, so I started to make little videos too, because I'm like, fuck it, why not? You know, I've been through a lot of shit in life. Why not talk about it, build an audience, and try to sell some music, or try to make these people that know who I am, they know who I am, you know, they know me before the music. Like, these people really know what I've been through in life. So, you know, when I release music, they want to fuck with it, you know. Maybe not everybody, but some people will, you know, and just gradually just add that up, you know. Instead of being that one rapper who has a song on TikTok that blows up, and then when you go do a show, nobody shows up to your show because you don't have no real authenticity. No one knows who you are. You haven't built nothing, you know. And when I mean build something, I mean build an online presence. People have to know who you are. You have to be known for something so people can come to you, you know. And I don't know, bro. People just say they like my voice and they like how I talk about certain topics and they like how raw and unfiltered I am. But I just feel like, especially what just happened to me recently, you know, getting doxxed and getting kicked out and all this shit. I didn't expect that fucking shit. I'm sitting there minding my business, not bothering nobody, not thinking about nothing, trying to deal with depression. And some motherfucker is going to pretend to be me. Some person going to go out their way, find all my channels. They're listening right now. This person claims to hate me, but they're listening to my video right now thinking that I'm going to drop some information that they can use against me. You know, you fucked up. You doxed me once. You know what I mean? And I think it was RWG. He said something interesting. He was like, you know, when people dox you and shit like that, you're the one that gave them the information. And I'm 1,000% right. I just didn't know people were watching me. I didn't know I had family people watching me, people telling their best friend. Like, I'm not with all that. I'm not here for all that. You know? I got a lot of shit on my mind. I'm trying not to break and do, you know, and all I want is just a place to vent and talk to people that go through the same thing I go through. I don't want people listening to my videos, spying, seeing what I'm doing, and see if I'm talking about them. I'm not talking about you. I don't care about you, brother. I got my own problems to worry about. You know, I'm trying to get my life together. I'm not sitting here and fucking with people. You know, people talk about me all the time. I brush it off. Oh, he's a loser. Who cares? All right, he called me a loser and a failure. Okay, cool. All right. I know I'm talented. I know if I'm riding around people, I know there's people that have told me time and time again, I don't know why you're not famous, man. You know what I mean? That goes to show you that they pick and choose, you know? But some people, they take issue with what I say. Even that guy, what's his name? Dion the Emperor. Even though he was saying, oh yeah, Black Pill Villain, you know, I don't like what happened to him and stuff. You know, I don't like him. I'm like, well, what did I do to you that you don't like me? You know, like, I haven't done nothing to you. I didn't even know you existed, brother. You know, but much love to you, man. And I appreciate it, man. But hey, bro, whatever it is you don't like about me, man, we can talk about it. You know what I mean? But if not, I don't give a fuck. Because it's like, all I did was been real, you know, point blank. No one can call me a liar. People are not mad because I lied. People are mad because I told the truth in an unfiltered way. And a lot of other black pillars who were doing this way before me were jealous of me as well, even right now, you know? And it's so much envy. And it's like, why are you jealous of somebody who's already in a position and economically fucked? He's just venting through online. You know? That's it. But some people just, I don't know. They keep wanting to start things, and that has to end. Now we got to bring more type of unity. Guys that go through a lot of fucked up shit in life, you know, you don't look at somebody else and try to attack them and dox them. But the people who got me, they only attacked me because I'm black. And that's the truth. That's what they pretty much were saying. They're calling me the N-word, this N-word. So I let you know what type of time they on, you know, which is why I hate being associated with the BP. But this is what people know me as, you know, just speaking like Savvy Guy just made a good video talking about staying in your niche. People know me for talking about the world in an unfiltered way. You know what I mean? So I can't just start talking about Barbie dolls and start revealing, you know what I mean, or start revealing fucking Yu-Gi-Oh cards. I got to stick to my lane, you know, but also expand at the same time. You know, so that's just a little stream of consciousness I had in my mind. You know, it's like, to all the enemies and the people that doxed me and trolled me, you guys are not even an issue or a factor. This is going to be the highlight of your life. Yeah, guys. We Dark Black Pill villain. We got him real good. We got him kicked out and homeless. Ha 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 ha. And then your channel's still gonna stay stagnant. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like no one like who watches these guys that trolls like random guys online? Who sits there and watches that? That's ridiculous. But that shows you how this world is. You know, it's a vicious, sadistic world, and it goes to show you that a lot of these guys are just failed normies. You know, their only problem in this life is they don't have the girl in their life. You know, that's it. They got everything else though: a mom, dad, loving family, nice house over their head. You know. Real pain drives you insane.